There are many scientists who analogy in the field of electronics. This means that the output energy is greater than the input energy. This has been going on since the early 19th century until 2019, but the world is not ready to use that technology. Only a few engineers and enthusiasts are still developing free energy technology. Basically, the law of thermodynamics is based on the variable being heat, and other physical quantities are converted to heat. However, electricity in the ether field is not entirely heat. Ether physics has been eliminated or can be said to be banned in physics because the physical quantities of dielectric, magnetism, plasma, space, counterspace, etc. will reveal the nature of matter when studying the ether in depth. Instead, the science of matter is replaced by mystical quantum mechanics and mathematics far from reality that describe it. Ether physics will introduce a different concept of energy than the electrical physics of secular education, according to which energy is not a physical entity, but a possibility. The ether is the storage of universal energy that manifests as all matter. The change of position or changes of matter in space manifested by the ether is the manifestation of energy, but there is a possibility to create that manifestation in the ether, which is energy. The characteristic geometry of the ether includes the geometry of dielectricity and magnetism as the underlying structure for the ability to create energy. The early 20th century mathematician and electrical physicist Charles Proteus Steinmetz wrote many textbooks on electricity on this characteristic geometry. It is the geometry of dielectric lines of force and magnetic lines of force that is different from today's understanding. If we know the plot of world history, we can see that Charles Proteus Steinmetz was funded and promoted by a faction in the ranks of the world's rulers. The true plot of world history is the plot of Tartaria history. There is a common question: free energy technology clearly exists and works since the beginning of the 20th century, but why is free energy not yet popular all over the world? Many people say, it doesn't work, free energy is a scam, if it happens it will violate the law of thermodynamics, nothing is created from zero, there is no free lunch, etc. They say so even though they consider Nikola Tesla as an idol, while Tesla's inventions have the potential to create free energy. Or even if they see it with their own eyes, they still don't believe it, although some videos on YouTube are scams to discredit the free energy movement. Similar question: John Bedini once had a patent for a self-propelled generator, free energy, but why hasn't John Bedini's technology spread all over the world? If you understand the plot of Tartaria, then the answer will contain conspiracies. Answer: in fact, humanity was once aliens who fell here in the early 16th century after the fall of heaven. The historical event that marked this was the fall of Constantinople, 1453, led by Sultan Mehmed. Sultan Mehmed is Muhammad in the Quran, but this is a long story related to the new era. There are several groups of aliens in this world. The group that appeared in the early 16th century is the group that was newly brought as mentioned in the Quran. All the groups of aliens who came to this world were mainly slaves. Historical evidence shows that slaves would not be taught the technologies to create an economically independent life. Historical evidence is presented by David Ewing Jr. in his recent video about the mud flood and aliens in the history of Tartaria. Basically, creating people without knowledge is an important factor for them to become slaves. All historical developments are mainly created by two factions in the ranks of the world's rulers. The people are just characters in their game. This is the main plot of history. Therefore, the technological revolution to change the world is not entirely within the understanding of the slaves. The new group of people brought to the world, then the representatives of the earth, which is the majority of humanity now, all of them have been designed with brains that are easily programmed. That means people will become puppets, easily hypnotized, if someone knows how, like black magic. And human slaves were also designed to create revolutions, or to contribute to changing the world situation. The issue of free energy suppression. The question is, who is suppressing free energy from the 70s to 2019s? Or the same question, who is suppressing free energy technology from the beginning of the 20th century until now? The main plot of the Tartaria world history says, the secular faction is suppressing free energy technology. And the anti-sacred faction wants to overthrow and prepare free energy technology. However, both of these factions are fighting for status and power to rule humanity. If you have ever investigated the history of conspiracies, the Royal Society or the elite is this group of people. They are carrying out a struggle that can be considered as an internal affair. However, to know the deeper conspiracy to solve many puzzles, it is necessary to consider the origin of the elite or the Royal Society from the 16th century to the present. In the article that can be found under the title Nikola Tesla's Wireless Power Transmission is Possible, Free Energy, you will see that the secular faction in the ranks of world rulers has alien allies. Those from the outside world can see from the declassified files, or the role of the Office of Alien Property Custodian in the history of Nikola Tesla. There is a lot of evidence and research that the Earth is flat, and that beyond the ice shelf there are still many forces related to the Old World and even Islam. I can find this when searching for the article Tartaria, is there a civilization beyond the ice shelf? The aliens are mostly the flat earthers outside the ice shelf and outside the ice wall. Remember, there are many alien groups that come here in human form. Most of us humans today are the chosen group to represent the Earth, and we are programmed to know these things, but the solution to move towards a better future or not is up to humans to decide, and the important factor is whether humans are still humane and loving. Good luck.